Assalamualaikum everyone. Today we will be discussing O levels chemistry paper 1. This is a multiple choice paper and this is the code for O levels chemistry is 5070 and this variant is 11 of October November 2019. This paper is of 1 hours. There are 40 questions and each question have 4 possible answers and you have to record the correct answer or your choice using a soft pencil on a separate answer sheet. So let's get started. This is question number 1. The concentration of the aqueous sodium carbonate can be found by the reaction of hydrochloric acid of known concentration. The indicator is methyl orange. Which item of the equipment are needed? So firstly, you need to remember that the unknown solution is always in the conical flask and the known solution is in the burette. So according to the question, the known solution is HCl. It is the known solution. It must be in the burette. However, the unknown solution should be in the conical flask. And you need a pipette to measure the accurate amount of the unknown solution to put it in the conical flask. So let's read out the option. Burette, measuring cylinder, gas syringe, no. Burette, measuring cylinder, thermometer, no. Burette, pipette, conical flask, yes. So option C is correct for question number 1. Then let's move to question number 2. Question number 2 says, which process is involved in all the following? Obtaining copper sulfate crystals from aqueous copper sulfate, obtaining ethanol from the fermentation, and obtaining nitrogen from the liquefied liquid air. So obtaining nitrogen from the liquid air means evaporation. Then obtaining ethanol from the fermentation of glucose, evaporation. Obtaining copper sulfate crystals from aqueous copper sulfate, it is also evaporation. So option B is correct for question number 2. Question number 3. In which reaction is a white precipitate present when the reaction is complete? So let's read out the option. Excess barium nitrate is added to aqueous sodium chloride, no. Excess sodium hydroxide is added to aqueous sodium ammonium chloride, no. Excess sodium hydroxide is added to aqueous iron sulfate, no. Excess hydrochloric acid is added to aqueous silver nitrate, yes. So option D is correct for question number 3, as the HCl is insoluble and it forms precipitate. Question number 4. Which three state elements exist as diatomic molecules at room temperature? So you should remember that which elements exist as diatomic molecules at RTP. So they are nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. According to this, option C is correct for question number 4. Let's look at other options too. In option A, it have hydrogen, which also consists in diatomic form. We have oxygen, which also consists in diatomic form. But however, this helium do not consist in diatomic form. Nitrogen consists in diatomic form. Fluorine consists in diatomic form. However, neon doesn't consist in diatomic form. Then again, the oxygen, chlorine consists in diatomic form. However, helium isn't in diatomic form. So there are 5 elements at RTP that exist in diatomic form, and you need to remember or memorize these 5 elements. First is hydrogen. Second is nitrogen. Then you have oxygen. Then fluorine and chlorine. So these are the 5 elements that exist in diatomic form at RTP. Question number 5. Let me zoom it out. Which apparatus is suitable for preparing and collecting a dry sample of sulfur dioxide? Okay, so let's look at option A. In option A, you can see that this tube, delivery tube isn't reaching till here. So this option A is incorrect. Then in option B, you can see that the funnel is used in option B, so it is also incorrect. Then option C. So option C seems correct. Then option D, in option D, the this measuring cylinder isn't put in the right way. So option D is also incorrect. So option C is correct for question number 5. Then question number 6. Which diagram represents the structure of a solid metal? So remember one thing, that the structure of a solid metal is always this, like this. Option C is correct for question number. Just a second. The structure of a solid metal always looks like this. Option B is correct for question number 6. So you need to remember the structure of a solid metal. Then question number 7. Hydrogen sulfide burns in excess of oxygen according to the equation shown. So this is the equation given here. 48 dm cube of hydrogen sulfide is burned. Which volume of hydrogen sulfide will be formed at RTP? All the volumes are measured at the same temperature and pressure. So you need to find the volume of the sulfur dioxide which will be formed at RTP. So this is the sulfur dioxide, which is gas. Firstly, you need to calculate the mole. So this is 48 dm cube of hydrogen sulfate is burned. So this is hydrogen sulfate. Okay, now firstly you need to calculate the moles. So you can see the equation. It is given 2H2S, and here the moles of the sulfur dioxide are also 2. So you can say it's 2:2, which would be 1:1. It means that the the volume is given 48 dm cube of hydrogen sulfide is burned. So the volume will remain same for the sulfur dioxide due to 1:1 mole ratio. So the option C is correct for question number 7. Then question number 8. Which row correctly identify the different formula of ethene and its homologous series? So ethene is an alkene. CH2 is the empirical formula of an alkene, and C2H4 is an molecular formula. However, CnH2n is the general formula of alkene. So option A is correct for question number 8. Question number 9. Ammonia is manufactured from nitrogen and hydrogen by the Haber process. What is the percentage yield when 60 kg of ammonia is produced from 60 kg of hydrogen? Okay. So it is given in the question that you have to calculate the percentage yield when 60 kg of ammonia, means this is 60 kg produced by 60 kg of hydrogen. This hydrogen, which is 60 kg. Now 3 2s are 6, and the MR of ammonia will be, let me open the periodic table here. So from the periodic table, you will see the mass of ammonia. Well, okay. The periodic table is given in P1 and P2 at the last page. Well, so here's the periodic table. Using periodic table, you will see the mass of nitrogen, which is 14, and the mass of hydrogen is 1. Now let's go up to the question again. So here is it is. Let me calculate the molar mass. So the molar mass would be 14 plus 3 as 3 hydrogen, which would be 17, and into 2, because 2 is given here, 2 moles, which would give 34. So you can see that 6 into 10 equals to 60. So here it would be 340. Now what you have to do is to put this 340 down here, 60 up and into 100. Let me calculate. 6, 12, 340 into 100. So when you divide this 60 divided by 340 into 100, it gives the answer 17.6, which is correct answer for question number 9. Then let's move towards question number 10. What is the ratio of the number of molecules in 71 grams of gaseous chlorine to the number of the molecules in 2 grams of gaseous hydrogen? So for this, the mass of Cl2 chlorine, the formula is Cl2 for chlorine, and the mass of chlorine is 71. 71 divided by 71 gives 1, and then 1 divided by 1 for hydrogen gives 1. So the correct answer for 10 is A, 1:1. H for H2, you have to do 2 divided by 2, H2, 1 into 2 equals to 2, 1, 1. So you got 1:1. Question number 11. The diagram shows an electrolysis experiment using the inert electrodes. So this is the experiment shown here. Aqueous copper sulfate is the electrolyte for L, and for M, dilute sulfuric acid. Which row shows what happens to the concentration of the electrolyte L and M as the electrolysis proceeds? So L and M. Firstly, you need to know that which ions are present. So we, in this copper sulfate, you have CuSO4, which is aqueous. So you have Cu, copper ions, sulfate ions, hydrogen and hydroxide ions. Then at the sulfuric acid side, you have H2SO4, which the ions it contains is H plus, then OH, then SO4. Now SO4 doesn't take part in reaction, and at this side it also do not take part in the reaction, and the H ions do not go to the cathode nor the OH. Only the copper ions go to the cathode. At this point, these both are also cancelled, so the concentration does not stay constant. constant. So option D is correct for question number 11. Then question number 12, molten sodium chloride is electrolyzed, which equation correctly shows the reaction that occurs at the cathode. So at the cathode, molten sodium chloride means NaCl, which do not have H or OH ions because it is molten. So at the cathode, the equation would be Na plus electron, which give Na. Then question number 13. The energy profile diagram is shown. This is the energy profile diagram. What arrow does the R represents on the diagram? So R arrow represents the enthalpy change of the reaction. Question number 14. Which statement about the exo and endothermic reaction is correct? So in an endothermic reaction, energy is used to break bonds, but no energy is released when the bonds are formed. No. In an endothermic reaction, energy is released when the bonds form, but more energy is used to break the bonds. Yes, so this statement is correct about endo and exothermic reactions. Let's read out the two more given options. In an exothermic reaction, energy is released by both bond breaking and by bond forming. No. In an exothermic reaction, energy is released when bonds form, but no energy is needed to break bonds. No. So statement A, C, and D are incorrect. However, the B is correct for question number 14. Question number 15. A gas produce a gas decomposes to form gas Q. Gas P decomposes to form gas Q. Two experiments are carried out to investigate the rate of reaction. The conditions are the same except the two different temperatures T1 and T2. All the conditions are same except the two different temperatures T1 and T2. The results are plotted on the graph drawn to the same scale. So the graph is drawn to the same scale. Which row is correct? So let's have a look at the graph firstly. So these are the both graphs with different temperature, volume at y-axis and time at x-axis. So you can see that the gradient here and here is different. Then second thing that the concentration, or you can see the concentration of volume at T2 and at T1 is different. So in easy words, you can say that T1 is higher than T2. So here are two options for T1 is higher than T2. Option A or either option C. Option D and B are incorrect. Now X and Y. So you need to find, or you can say estimate the moles of X and Y. Either they are 2:3 or 3:2. So they are 2:3. According to this, option A is correct for question number 15. In question number 16, in which reaction is the underlying substance reduced? In option A, the underlying substance carbon isn't reduced. Then in option B, you can see it is chlorine. It has no charge, means it is zero. Charge is zero. And then it has been reduced and gain an electron reduction, or you can say it being reduced is known as the gain of electron. So B option is B is a reaction in which the underlined substance has been reduced. So option B is correct for question number 16. Question number 17, the equation of an industrial process is shown. This is the equation given. Which row is correct? We need to find out which row is correct. Firstly, you can see that this is an endothermic reaction. It is given. We have two options for endothermic reaction. First is option A and the second is option C. So B and D are cancelled out. exothermic one cancelled out. Now the oxidizing agent is and the reducing agent is. Okay, so you can see here the carbon has zero charge. However, here it have, okay, now you can see that this, here the hydrogen, or you can see that this is water, and this, the hydrogen loses the oxygen. So the, when the hydrogen loses the oxygen, it is an oxidizing agent, or you can say that the H2O is the oxidizing agent and C is the reducing agent. So option C is correct for question number 17. Then question number 18, a sodium hydroxide is added to a solution to alter its pH. A neutral solution is formed. Sodium hydroxide is added and a neutral solution is formed. So let's read out the option which statement is correct. A sodium hydroxide is an acid. No, it is a base. Sodium hydroxide, so this option is incorrect. Sodium hydroxide will lower the pH of the solution. No, not at all. Base never lowers the pH. The pH of the neutral solution is 14. No, this statement is also incorrect. When the three statements are incorrect, then the last and the fourth statement would be correct, which is D. The pH of the solution before sodium hydroxide is added is below 7. Yes. So before sodium hydroxide is added, the pH is below 7. And when the sodium hydroxide is added, the pH alters and the solution becomes neutral. Question number 19, the sodium chloride is dissolved in distilled water. Universal indicator is added to the solution. Which color? What is the color of the universal indicator? So in sodium chloride, when the universal indicator is added, it turns green, neutral. What statement about ammonia is correct? It is a colorless gas, odorless gas. Yes, you can say. It is a gas that turns blue litmus red. No, it turns red litmus blue. It is formed when potassium nitrate is heated with aqueous sodium hydroxide and aluminum. Yes, this statement seems correct. It is manufactured using vanadium oxide as a catalyst. No. So option C is correct for question number 20. Then question number 21, which statement gives a reason why ammonium sulfate can be used as fertilizers? So it contains nitrogen to promote the plant growth and is soluble in water. So option B is correct for question number 21. Question number 22, sulfuric acid is manufactured using the contact process. The equation for the reaction is given, is shown. Which statement is correct? Reaction 1 is irreversible. Reaction 1 is exothermic. Reaction 2 reaction 2, sulfur dioxide reacts with water to form sulfuric acid. So these three statements are given in the reaction 1 and reaction 2 equation are given above. The reaction 1 is reversible. Okay, and the reaction 1 is exothermic. So yes, reaction 1 is exothermic. Reaction 1 is reversible. Yes. So how to identify a reversible and irreversible reaction? Firstly, to one thing you need to remember, when you see the double arrows indicate that the reaction is reversible. This is a reversible reaction. When you see a single arrow, this is a irreversible reaction. So this is a trick to remember that you need to remember to identify that whether the reaction is reversible or irreversible. So these first and second statement is correct when you look at the equation 1. Now the third statement is in reaction 2, sulfur dioxide, no, there isn't any sulfur dioxide, there is a sulfur trioxide. You can see this 3, I hope this is visible. So according to this statement 1 and 2 are correct. Option A is correct for question number 22. Then question number 23. Three statements about element carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur are shown. They are in the groups next to each other in the periodic table. Their neutron to proton ratio are 1 to 2 to 1. They each form an acidic oxide. Yes, they form an acidic oxide. This is true. They are in next groups next to each other. So for this, you need to see the periodic table, which is given on the last page of the question paper. So they were talking about, I think, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. Yes, they are each two. They are next to the group. They were talking about carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. They are in the group next to each other in the periodic table. Yes, they are. So statement 1 and 3 are correct. The neutron to proton ratio is always are all 2 to 1. No, so this is statement 2 is incorrect. So option C is correct for question number 23. Question number 24. Which property for halogens is correct? You need to memorize these properties for halogens in group 1 metals, which are known as alkali metals. So option B is correct that their melting point increases down the curve. Then question number 25. Part of the periodic table shows the position of four elements. These are not the element's actual symbol. Which element has a high melting point and a variable oxidation state? High melting point and variable oxidation state, when you read these two properties, the elements that click into your mind are the transition elements, and they are between the group 2 and group 3. So this is the row for the transition elements. Option C is correct for question number 25. Then question number 26. Brass is made up of copper, from copper and zinc, and it has many uses. Okay. Brass is one of these two elements. Brass is used in the electric plugs because it is an electrical 2 and the 1. So 1, 2, two rows are given which word correctly completes the gap 1 and 2. So brass is one of the two elements. So brass is an alloy and it is a good conductor of electricity. That's why it is used in electrical plugs. So option A is correct for question number 26. Question number 27. Metal carbonates decompose when heated. Which carbonate is most stable to heat? Okay. Question. So for this question, calcium carbonate is most stable to heat as it belongs to group 2. Question number 28. Tin is a metal between iron, lead, and lead in the reactivity series. Okay, which method is used for the extraction of tin from its ore? So for extraction of tin from its ore, heat it with carbon. So option D is correct for question number 28. Question number 29. Aluminium is extracted from the aluminum oxide by the electrolysis. So the diagram is given. Carbon in anode is used, carbon cathode is used, mean carbon electrodes are used. Then molten aluminum, purified aluminum oxide dissolved in the molten cryolite. So which statement about this electrolysis is correct? Let's read out the statement. First statement is aluminum ions gain electron to form aluminum. Yes, this statement is correct. Cryolite increases the melting point of the Electrolyte, no. Cryolite decreases the melting point. Cryolite react with impurities to form slag, no. The the carbon cathode has to be replaced, no. The carbon anode has to be replaced as anode dissolves. Then question number 30. Methane and sulfur dioxide are two pollutants found in the Earth's atmosphere, which row correctly identify one source of each gas. So you know that methane is produced due to the decaying of plants. Option B or A, one of them would be correct. And the sulfur dioxide source is volcanoes, not the chemical reaction. So option B is correct for question number 30. Then question number 31. That the water supply can be purified by filtration and chlorination. Which substance remains in the water supply after these treatments? So the substance that remains in the water supply is mineral salts. Question number 32. Which statement are true for the homologous series? Each CD contains saturated compounds, no. The compounds in each CD are unreactive, no. Uh, each CD have a general formula, yes. Each CD have a gradation in the physical properties, yes. So option D is correct, means statement 3 and 4 are correct. Question number 33, alkene. Alkane, it's written alkane, are saturated compounds containing carbon and hydrogen only. 1, 2, 3, 4 are saturated compounds, or you can say alkanes. So which pair of the structure are isomers? Let's start the counting. Which is isomer? First, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 6 carbons and 14 hydrogens. You need to count them. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 6 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And 14 hydrogens. So they are the isomers. 1 and 2 are isomers. Let's I don't think so. We need to count the 3 and 4 because it is given that you need to just find a pair, which means 2 isomers. So let's look at the option. Option A is correct. 1 and 2 are the structural isomers of each other. Then let's move towards the next question, which is question number 34. When butene reacts with bromine, which compound could be made? Okay, when butene reacts with bromine. So butene formula is C4H8. Butene is an alkene. CnH2n is the general formula for alkene. Reacts with bromine. When it reacts with bromine, Br2, it forms C4H8. B2. We can say that, for example, these are the carbons and the bromine get attached to it. So option B is correct for question number 34. Then question number 35, how many um, structural isomers with the formula C4H10O are alcohols? Okay, so for this you need to draw the structural isomers of alcohol. Let's draw them here. I would be not writing all the hydrogens. It was butene, 4, carbon, then OH. This is the first isomer, and this is the second one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is the OH. This is the third one, 1, 2, 3. Here are two OH this time, this one and this is here, it's another. And the fourth isomer for the C4H8O is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this time the hydroxide is here. OH is here. So where's this? It was C4H10O. So there are four possible structural isomers of this formula of alcohol. Okay, then question number 36. Question 36 is which statement about the alcohol, the formula is given here, are correct? When this alcohol is oxidized, it forms propanoic acid, 3 carbons. Yes, you can see that. This is correct. When this alcohol burns in air to form carbon dioxide and water. Yes, you can say that. So statement 2 is also correct. Then this alcohol can be formed by addition reaction between ethene and steam. No. So this statement 3 is incorrect. So option A is correct. Only 1 and 2 statement are correct. Question number 37. The propanoic acid reacts with calcium carbonate. The products of this reaction are calcium propanoate and carbon dioxide in water. So which reaction is correct? What is the equation for this reaction? So you need to find the correct equation. 4 equations are given. Firstly, you need to, okay, this is okay, while this isn't okay. Because the calcium is belongs to group 2, it have a charge of +2. However, the carbonate ion also have the charge of -2. So this 2 isn't required here. Equation A, wrong. While at equation B, you can see that this 2 isn't present. So this is correct. This is correct. And this is also correct. However, in this equation, this wasn't correct because this group, when the calcium belongs to group 2, however, this propanoic acid belongs to group 2. So here would be a 2 after bracket. So option B is correct for question number 37. However, in option C and D, the formula for the propanoic acid isn't correct, so they couldn't be correct. Question number 38. An acid reacts with an alcohol to form an ester in water. So the equation is given. What is the name of the ester formed in this reaction? So you need to write the name of the ester formed. Let's count the carbon. 1, 2, 3 carbon. We have 2 carbon here, which means each here is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the name of the ester is ethyl propanoate. The alcohol is this ethanol, and the acid was propanoic acid. Then question number 39. Part of the polymer chain is shown. Which monomer is used to produce this polymer? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbons. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbons. So this is the repeating unit, you can say. Then you put the double bond here. So the monomer is formed. Option D is correct for question number 39. Then question number 40, last question of this paper. Which statement about the polymer is correct? So let's read out the options. Fat and nylon all contains this linkage. No. Monomers used in condensation polymerization must contain both this and this. No. Polyethylene will decolorize bromine. No. Protein with this linkage are biodegradable as they can be hydrolyzed. Yes, so option D is correct for question number 40. So this was all for October-November 2019 P11 of O-Levels Chemistry 5070. I hope you understood. Thank you.